Hello guys, this is Toon, the K-pop nerd. I'm an artist, developer and producer based in Seoul, South Korea, and this is my show where I review K-pop music videos. Today we're gonna watch Taemin's new song, Guilty. So let's dive in.
Just a little more, that's all it takes. 널 망치고서 throw it all away. 단 하나를 주는 점 모든 걸 가져가. 아픈 마음과 사랑을 헷갈려 원하게 만들어. 우리 관계는 그렇게 됐어. 모든 건 다 널 위해서.
This is very deep. Woo! Haha. Okay, well, this is Taemin. I didn't expect anything shallow or very simple for Taemin. He's always making very nice and terrific songs with some kind of complex meaning. Very emotional, very nice choreography. And the song, of course, is very deep. The lyrics are deep. Even the instrumental is deep in a sense. So let's go through the song and try to identify the different sections, the lyrics, and what's going on. So you see, we already have this kind of instrumental, like it's a slow-paced, very Weeknd-like. It's not like Weeknd invented this kind of music, of course. It's just a very famous artist that most of us are familiar with. You can hear this kind of strings. It's very common in this kind of songs. And of course there is this vocal like going on top, introducing us. You see, that's really nice how his vocals are syncopated in the beginning and then they change the rhythm. So he goes like poison apple. and in the mid of the second lyric he changes the rhythm. That's really nice skill, of course. And he continues to change between the syncopated and on the beat rhythm.
Just a little more, that's all it takes. 널 망치고서 throw it all away.
And you see how the instrumental, it's kind of simple but kind of complex at the same time. It has the simple drums like a kick and a clap or snare, and then there is no complex bass line, there's just some strings that give the rhythm. It gives you this kind of rhythm, like it makes you kind of feel it in your body and move with it. And you see this Taemin's ability, he's using these sweet high vocals and at the same time he drops his voice like lower. You see how he starts very high and then he drops his range down. So you can hear like more of the throat. And there's even whispering here, so there is the top vocal, like high vocal, and there is a whispering below it. This is a really nice arrangement of the vocal. And then an amazing drop, which is common with this kind of song. We can hear actually a bass line here, a very dirty, like strong bass line that gives emotion during the chorus. So here we're in the second verse and it's a bit different. You can hear this, yeah. These are the harmonies and they're placed on the sides of the audio spectrum, so you can give strength to the main vocal. And really nice double vocal here, so there is the normal range and there is a bottom range as well. Really amazing vocal production here. The arrangement, the recording, and of course the mixing is really nice. So after the second verse and the second chorus, we get to the bridge. Lots of strings here. Really nice change. We got a different chord progression here that helps take the song to another dimension, if you like. And we even have this section here that there is no vocal on top, so you can hear the strings clearly. I think this is intentional. It's not like they run out of lyrics to put there. It's so the song gives you just a little of time to think what's going on and bring you more emotions through the music.
Every time.
And of course we have this amazing burst of emotions here when you put the ad-lib on top. In general, it's really well done. Personally, I like a bit more electronic beats when it comes to this kind of music. I mean, it's not bad at all, it just takes a little more time for me to get used to it. Maybe I would like more electronic bass, and maybe some kind of synth instead of all the strings. So yeah, you can have some strings, but then it would be really nice if there is some kind of pad like this synth sound in the background too. We have seen this on Taemin's Move, for example. It has this more 80s retro vibe. So now let's watch the music video again and try to identify what's going on with the actual video and the meaning of the song. So we start here in a room, a very, very messy room. This immediately puts us in a setting where the emotions are not really stable. All these clothes here represent these moments of panic or instability. So in this context, maybe each cloth is a memory from the relationship and now he's just hanging on one of these memories. So he's thinking like something from the past, like this specific memory.
wanna take a bite.
Poison apple is probably the name of the lover, right? The name of the other person in this relationship.
언제 you wanna take a bite. 손을 뻗어 위험 속에 깊이 빠져가.
And probably this is the poison apple here, because maybe it's the other self. I don't know, sometimes they do this stuff in these music videos. Poison apple, although it's poisonous, you really want to take a bite, right? Because it's so beautiful, so attractive. He's sinking deeper, because this is so intoxicating, right? This poison apple.
A little more, that's all it takes. 널 멈추고서 throw it all away.
So making you addicted, right? Like the poison apple. And you cannot tell pain from love, because they're both very strong emotions. So this is because actually in this relationship there are many good things happening, really nice moments, very deep, passionate moments, and at the same time there are also many bad things happening. Now the point is that there is no specification of when these moments happen. So maybe the good moments happen in the past and the bad moments are happening now. And maybe that's why we're getting this scene, that all these memories are around him, right? And now he's reminiscing, like he's thinking all those moments, the good moments, and he's falling into this emotional state that he's really missing this moment. So he's trying again to relive these moments. He's trying to approach this, but he doesn't experience this anymore. He just experiences the bad moments. Or maybe all of these are happening together. There are good moments and bad moments. He's really in love and this other person is cheating on him. It's very clear here on the vague border between good and bad, okay, like so right in the middle. We have a scene here that he's coming back to this dark room. So maybe this is a space, a memory from the past, and he's coming into it, but it's now empty. He doesn't have the good moments anymore because he's so rotten by the bad moments. And he's actually looking into the good moments now. Right, so he feels guilty because he knows all that. He knows that he should just run away. He knows that it's over, that it's not generally, logically good for him anymore. But he's addicted into that because he's still searching for these good moments. This is pretty much an addiction. It's very similar with other kind of addictions. You sacrifice your long-term well-being for these little moments of satisfaction. And of course you feel very guilty about it. So this is this kind of guilt. You see how he feels tricked, like everything has been taken from him. Everything like seems like a game, but actually everything is a lie. And there is no way out of this. He says, who's gonna punish me? So who's gonna stop me from this? Because me, I'm so addicted to this that I'm not gonna get out on my own. So now he says like, okay, go deny your heart, okay, for tonight. Like he's kind of talking to this other person probably. He says like, tell me the truth. Like, do you want me even in this moment? But he says, give up, you're trapped inside me. It's like this poisonous apple is talking, right? So you say, you're trapped inside me. And you see how well the choreography blends with the storyline. This is really nice artistically. Yeah, blending the storyline and the choreography. And we're gonna talk about it in the next section. And you see here, he's trying to take a breath out of all this. He's trying to exit this addiction.
Every time, every time, every time.
But here he's back into it. So there is no specific point here that he actually mentions another partner. So while this is the obvious and the dominant theory, you can easily translate this to any other addiction. Korea is not the kind of country that you will find a lot of addictions except alcohol. Okay, like drinking is a very big addiction, and this song actually could very quite fit into it. There are a lot of people actually in Korea that suffer from alcohol addiction. They want to get drunk every night. They cannot even sleep in the night unless they get really drunk, like 3-4 bottles of soju, for example. And many times they just drink alone at home because they cannot find anybody to drink with. And every single line actually fits because in general, any kind of addiction fits to this song. If you translate this to other countries, of course, that have other kinds of addictions, it also works very well. So it's a really nice multi-dimensional song in that sense. I don't know, of course, the exact intention of the songwriter. In many cases, many songs are not written based on experience, they're just written to make music, right? Like to make a good song. But other times, you know, people are inspired from their own personal experiences. So somebody maybe was heartbroken, or maybe they had an addiction like alcohol or whatever. So in that sense, overall, this is a very deep song, as we expected from Taemin, of course. So now let's go through a final time and try to identify what's going on in the music video in terms of the production, the choreography, the outfits, you know, all this stuff. Yeah, it's Taemin's music video, so we're gonna have fantastic dark environment, right? Like this kind of lighting. Guys, this is very hard lighting to achieve actually, because it's one thing to have this kind of lighting in a normal environment. You might think, okay, there's just one lamp here and that's what you get. No, that's not what you would get. And in fact, it takes so much control lighting in order to film that into the camera, because the camera is not that sensitive to just get this dim light that your eyes get. So while the lighting looks so simple, here is actually very complex. Really nice close up here, of course, and you can see like how harder the light actually comes here. I mean, it's very diffused, but you can see the intensity of light, right? So this is not what you would see if you just had a little light on the back there. This is obviously artificial light, very diffused, of course. And you see the diffusion here, like how smooth his shoulder is, right? And everything, yeah, is really, really smooth. Like the lighting is so diffused. I really like how his hair comes down here and hide his face, because it really fits with the song. Yeah, and we got to talk about this amazing camera movement here. It might seem random, but these are all kind of practiced actually, how to follow this choreography. So it's not just a random camera shake. Why is it shaking? Because his emotions are shaking. So imagine he's doing all this kind of choreography here and the camera is just steady, just standing there. It wouldn't have that impact, of course. Another really nice lighting, of course, here. And you can see shadows both ways, because if you just had the lighting coming from here, you wouldn't be able to see much at this side, right? So they have some other light source here or some kind of reflector, so you can get this kind of image. Just a little more desolate. And you see really, really nice image. Like this is dark, and at the same time the light is really nice there, and really nice simple outfit. You know, it really expresses this kind of song. Like as we saw, it's kind of a sanitarium, like what's going on in his mind. And we got this scene here, like all these people like playing with the pillows. I think this might be his emotions after all, right? And within his ideas and emotion is also here. Again, fantastic lighting and nice simple setting, but at the same time there's many stuff happening. Really nice here, how all these hands are coming and grabbing him. And again, very fantastic simple shot here. He's just standing there, everything is blurred in the background. You can see like how wide open the lens is here, because even how this hand like right next to his face is actually out of focus. The focus is obviously here on his nose, and you can see even his lips are actually a bit out of focus. Really nice here how his arm comes through his shirt, so you can see some abs here, of course. And you see this car on the background because obviously they thought it's kind of too empty there. So let's just put something. And here we have this compo suddenly. So what was happening up to this moment was like these kind of shots were separate from the choreography. So we got the traditional storyline shots and the choreography shots. But suddenly we get this environment and the choreography, and slowly the choreography starts blending into the story. This is rare, guys, actually. This is not very usual. Of course, there is a lot of reuse of the sets for the choreography, but usually they're so separate. But in this music video, you see how they start combining everything together and blending. This is fantastic. Again, here, really nice lighting. I don't think actually they have some extra lighting here. They might have actually filmed it just right here. I don't know if there is a light source coming from this side. It doesn't mean, of course, they didn't change the lights in here or they didn't do some other additions. So the light is a bit softer. And I see this halo around the light. This is coming from the lens. Maybe they're using some filter. Or maybe the lens is just a bit dirty. I don't know. Like you see this really nice flare. You can tell this is a wide lens, of course, from the angle. Everything looks a bit smaller, like his face, although it's so near. But also this kind of flaring is very representative from wide angle lenses. And here we have a change. We have a change in the setting. We go from this blue to a bit warmer setting. And his clothes are also changed, his shirt. And there is a skirt here, right? Like a long skirt. And you see how the styling complements really nicely the actual story and theme of the song. You don't see these perfect clothes, but you see this kind of add-ons or some pieces missing from the clothes, right? That represent his emotional state. And of course we got the choreography girls coming in and suddenly everything looks really nice. So you can tell in some sense, storyline-wise, that these girls are just his thoughts, right? And they're just dragging him around. And you see how they're actually wearing very interesting clothes. It's not like they're wearing all these all white or all black or anything. They're just kind of interesting. The reason they can get away with this is because, of course, there is a gender separation. Taemin is a guy and he's the artist, so you know who's the main in the music video. There's no confusion about it. And his presence is also so dominant. And of course, through the choreography, right? He's standing in the middle and the girls go around. Really nice fashion, of course, here, this tiara with the feathers. And you see, like, this kind of sanitarium crazy party, this his crazy ideas going around, right? But suddenly became a choreography. That's what I talked before about how it's blend, like, fantastic. So again, we got this storyline shot here that everybody's just fighting with the pillows. And suddenly it became a choreography. Like, it's not just reuse of the set. It's like how the choreography blended with the storyline. It's really fantastic way. A really fantastic look here. This is not something easy to do. Try to do it in the mirror, right? Try to, you know, just give a look to yourself in this way. Like, it takes a lot of training actually to be able to be good at this kind of looks, you know. We actually have a third set here. You see how everything is pretty broken, representing his emotional state, of course. And of course we have the set that he's on the car and everybody's dancing around, there are fires. Wow, there is even water here and he's in the water. Like, this is a really complex set to make, of course, whenever there is water, because they have to build like something around here that keeps all this water there and he's floating. So maybe everything is actually water, is like a pool, and they put all the items in there, and that's a lot of work, right? And yeah, you see like how there is a border here and how they fill this with the water. You have to bring all this water into this set, and thanks God for these mid shots, because otherwise you wouldn't exactly be able to tell that there is so much water around. Of course, you see the water down here. This is not because it randomly rained that day or something like that. There is, of course, a guy or two from the art team that are responsible for wetting the floor. I've done this in my own music videos as well, the ones I directed. This is very important because you get these really nice reflections. So if the floor wasn't wet, all this light wouldn't bounce here. They wouldn't have this nice golden color on the skin, and you wouldn't have all these reflections here. Of course, it's a bit harder to dance when it's wet, but K-pop artists and back dancers, they know this very well and they are prepared for it. You see this fantastic pull here, like how she jumps on him. Really fantastic and artistic image. This could be just a photo actually, right? Having fire on the set is pretty complicated. You have to have the right team to handle the fire. Especially in Korea, they never just do it randomly. They have to get a permit, of course, that we're gonna light a fire there. They have to have a special team. There is probably a fire truck nearby. Everything is done by professionals. You have a fire on a car, for example, right? This fire could go into the car and we could have an explosion there and everybody's like, boom. So they take care of that, of course, and they do it really nicely and professionally. Wow, so many papers here. I'm pretty sure they cleaned up after that. So yeah, this is Taemin's Guilty. I really like it. Not as much as I liked the first big, nice, great Taemin song like Taemin's Move. After that, he produced so many nice songs, just not, in my opinion, as good as that one. That one had such an impact, and I really like it personally, the sound and the choreography, everything. But it's a really great song. At the same time, will I be watching this again and again? Move, for example, had a more fun meaning, you know, it didn't have this deep meaning. Sometimes you're not just in the mood, right? You just want something to cheer up. You don't want to get into this very deep kind of song. It's not exactly the kind of song I will just put on my playlist and just having playing it. Because, you know, emotions, they're fragile. I might, you know, be in a good mood and suddenly listen to this and start having some bad thoughts, so maybe not for the time being. But I will be coming back to this music video to just watch it again for the art and the nice music. Really nice professional product, of course. The music is great, the instrumental is great, the vocal mixing is amazing, the music video is done very well, and all the art and of course the choreography is fantastic. I think the stylists also did a really great job. It's not as complicated as other music videos, but this music video didn't require such a complex styling job. But you never know how much effort was required actually for the end results. It's very easy to see all this final product and say, okay, yeah, they just got a camera, they just went there and filmed. It doesn't happen like that, okay? It takes a lot of time, energy, and money, of course, to make something that looks that good. So that's all from me. Thank you so much for watching, guys. This is Jun, the K-pop nerd. Have a nice day.